Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking out this video. Appreciate it as always. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the night team. We're going to have ourselves a little fun in this one, folks. We really, really are. As you know, they were quiet for a while until it was time to get things done. And then the Indiana Fever, full speed ahead, fast and furious. So many players signing with the Fever, big names we didn't expect. But wait a minute. Hold on. Back the truck up. Weren't they all supposed to run away? That was the narrative from all the Hatelins out there, all the slows, all the old guard. No one was going to go play for the Fever. No one was going to sign with the Indiana Fever because their fans are horrible human beings in every sense of the word. But hey, wait, sometimes we got to look at reality. We got to check out the facts. The facts are the Indiana Fever re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. They added Luana Bonner. They added Natasha Howard. They added Sophie Cunningham. They added Sydney Colson, who, by the way, was Asia Wilson's teammate and good friend on the Aces. In fact, she tweeted out Asia's shoe signing announcement just the other day. But I mean, seriously, if Indiana's fan base was really that bad, wouldn't Colson have sent Caitlin Clark a new phone who dis text message instead of signing with the team? So much for no one who wants to play there. Seems like a lot of players want to play in Indiana. They want to play for the Fever. They want to play in front of all that fans. All those fans get that attention, play with Caitlin Clark. As Natasha Howard said at her first press conference, she's looking forward to getting out there and catching some of those passes. And now, why are you looking at Kelsey Plummer? You've been asking yourself that question. Well, that's because we're going to say, hey, while the Indiana Fever are signing all these players when everyone said they wouldn't be able to sign anyone, what's happening in Las Vegas? This young lady here, Kelsey Plum, all-time NCAA scoring leader until that record was broken by Caitlin Clark. First overall pick in 2017, as you see here, two-time WNBA champ, three-time WNBA All-Star, WNBA Sixth Player of the Year in 2021, WNBA All-Star Game MVP in 2022, a Commissioner's Cup champ in 2022. But guess what, folks? This lady requested a trade. That's right, she is out of Las Vegas. While the Fever have been adding pieces, the Aces have been falling to pieces. Kelsey Plum demanded a trade and she took off for LA. She wanted out. She did not want to be with the face of the league, with this wonderful leader, this wonderful human being, Asia Wilson. No, 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 no. Kelsey Plum wanted out. And it wasn't just Kelsey Plum, folks. She got court and demanded a trade, but they had some other free agents as well. Yes, they did. They had this one, Tiffany Hayes. Tiffany Hayes, the reigning sixth player of the year in 2024, an important piece of the Las Vegas Aces, an important piece of their back to back championships. And she wanted out. And she is now signed with a expansion franchise. Yes, she signed with the Golden State Valkyries. Gone out of here. Tiffany Hayes has left the Las Vegas Aces building. And of course, as we know, because her destination was Indiana, Sydney Colson has left Asia Wilson at the altar and is headed to the Indiana Fever to play with Caitlin Clark. Vegas, the Aces were supposed to be the dream team. The Aces had what, four, five Olympians on their team, and they did not win a championship. But the Aces are looking more like a reality show. The Real Housewives of the WNBA, who's leaving next? That seems to be what's happening in Las Vegas. Maybe playing with Asia Wilson, maybe playing for Becky Hammon. We're not even gonna get into the Derek Hamby lawsuit right now. Maybe those weren't the best of times. Maybe it wasn't the greatest environment. So what about this Asia Wilson is the face of the league stuff? Because another thing I keep hearing is Asia Wilson is the biggest star in the NBA. Everyone wants to play with her. Okay, cool. So why is her team looking like it just had a going out of business clearance sale? Why is everybody leaving Asia Wilson? I mean, it's like showing up to a party that's supposed to be the place to be, right? All that effort you made to finally get there, be one of the cool kids, be one of the insiders, and you realizing everybody else already left with an Uber. Don't get into that Uber with Janae Carrington, by the way. And certainly don't be the driver, but it's a story for another time as well. So, about these terrible Fever fans, turns out this whole idea, this whole narrative of no one would sign with Indiana was about as accurate as Shaq at the free throw line. And of course, meanwhile, Vegas, home of the so-called face of the league, has players leaving faster than a Black Friday sale at Best Buy. Oh. So, to those fans who swore no one would sign with Indiana, would you like some salt with that crow you're eating? Wow. How it started, Fever won't sign anyone. No one wants to play in front of those fans. They're ists and isms and bigots and phobes and all that other stuff. That's how it started. How it's going? The league has fixed it so Caitlin Clark wins a title. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Wait, that wasn't it. There was something else I wanted first. Yeah, I mean, just here's one. I just can't believe you guys traded her to that team you will be playing 5 times this season. It's almost like you want to hand that team 5 wins. You deserve better, Dewana. She left, she signed freely. She signed freely. She chose Indiana. She chose the Indiana Fever. See, we had this. This is such an obvious setup for Caitlyn to win a championship before Angel. You can't allow the villain of the story to win before the hero. WWE does a better job of hiding it than this. And so they went from because the fans are so horrible, no one will play in Indiana to the league is fixing it. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? But I am not kidding. We're gonna play a little of this. Listen, a little over a minute. It's over 2 minutes long. I'm gonna play over a minute because this is where they're at now. They were sure no one would play for Indiana, and now they've been reduced to this.
All right, the jig is up, Kathy. And you guys can call me a hater from what I'm about to say. I don't care. I'm a big dog. I can stand on it. Kathy made the call. Kathy made the call because you mean to tell me that two-time WNBA champion, the face of the Got Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Colson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever? First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign? What is painfully clear, and what I've talked about in my other videos, is that the league, the Fever organization are doing everything they should do to make sure their star is happy and that their star gets a ring. I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. Dewana Bonner, Sydney Colson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlyn. You have Lexi. You got the MAGA Barbie. Look, this is gonna be good and bad for the Fever, and this is gonna be good and bad for CC, because if CC can't get a ring with the Super Avengers that Kathy and the Indiana Fever has assembled, then
Oh man, first of all, yes. Now, why are you even speaking roster spot? Yes, they had a roster spot open because they had 11 players. So they signed another one. Super Avengers. See, there's the narrative is going to be now that they went from no one wants to play there to Kathy's fixing it, right? They're talking about Kathy. She's saying the commissioner is making this happen to get Caitlin Clark a ring and that this is a super team. So now they want to set it up so if it doesn't win, they can just bash Caitlin Clark about not winning a ring, just like they did when she was in college. Folks, this is a good team. Like I said, this is a top 4 team that can battle for the title right now. And I've done other videos. You know, I like the signings of Howard and Bonner and bringing in Cunningham and getting rid of Alyssa Smith. But super team, Natasha Howard and Duana Bonner are past their prime. Duana Bonner is going to be 38 years old this year. That's not a knock. She's still playing at a high level, but to say this is a super team of still 0 Olympians, right? The Las Vegas Aces last year were somehow not a super team despite basically being the Olympic team. The New York Liberty, not a super team, but the Indiana Fever bring some good but past their prime players to help with their young core, and they are the Super Avengers. The Super Avengers. Yeah, that's right. The Super Avengers. Absolutely wild. And that's where it's all going, right? Like I could show you a whole bunch of these. It's the same thing. It's the crash out went from no one's gonna sign to the Fever to this is fixed. The league is setting it up to give Caitlin Clark a super team. But I would be remiss, since we are also talking about the Aces and the mass exodus from Las Vegas, I'd be remiss if we didn't take a look back at one of the classic moments that makes us all realize what a joy and wonderful human being and leader Asia Wilson is, how much fun it must be to be around her. And that, of course, are these comments from Asia Wilson to Kelsey Plum while watching Paige Beckers play. And I'm gonna wonder why there's no volume, and that's because for some at the top, sorry about that.
Paige Blackers. Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like you say, you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like she's good at basketball, obviously. But like she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean that's a compliment.
Yeah, that's not a compliment at all. That's an insult, and it's very much a racist insult. Asia Wilson, who is rich, grew up going to exclusive private schools her entire life, just insulted Kelsey Plum to her face, saying that she knows her place. Imagine reversing that, and that she got where she is because of her can or lack thereof. Who wants to play with that, folks? It seems like nobody does because Derica Hamby, well, she got tossed out, but hey, she hated it so much she filed that lawsuit. We haven't heard about that in a little while, but I'm sure we will. Tiffany Hayes, gone. Sydney Colson, gone. Kelsey Plum, gone. They all wanted out. And yet, Indiana Fever, Dewana Bonner in, Natasha Howard in, Sophie Cunningham in, Sydney Colson in. Absolutely wild. Things that make you go, hmm. Yeah. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? What do you think about the players signing with Indiana? What do you think is going on with the Aces? And do you think it's ever going to change, or we're just going to continue to get these hot takes? First, no one will ever play in front of that fan base. Then it is the commissioner setting it up to get her a ring, and on and on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps out tremendously, and I will talk to you later.